Today we are looking at the Kent Model 822 hollow body bass guitar. This is another fine example of late 60s Japanese craftsmanship. Kent was the house brand for a New York-based distributor called Bugeleisen and Jacobson, or B&J Music. Oftentimes, retailers would import instruments manufactured in other countries under different names. Most likely, this instrument was manufactured by Kawai. However, the history is uncertain. A lot of different brand names were swirling around at that time. A lot of brands were buying up other brands. There were several different factories making different parts of different branded instruments, so it's kind of hard to tell for sure. But what we do know for sure is that B&J Music really wanted you to know that this was a Kent bass. The name is branded onto this instrument a half a dozen times. It's stamped into the bridge cover. It's inlaid into the body in mother of pearl, a very nice touch. Inlaid again onto the headstock. We've got this nice little decal here on the back. And of course, it's etched into these really cool pickups. So a little bit about this bass. It is another short scale, hollow body, semi-hollow instrument. It's kind of got an interesting construction, something that I haven't really seen before. We've actually got triple binding on this bass, which is really freaking cool, but I can't really tell for sure how this was constructed. I do not believe that this was constructed in a typical hollow body fashion where you've got sort of a bent side rim or some kind of carved out rim with tops and backs glued on. It almost seems like they may have scooped out sort of two bowls and put them together and then hid the seam with this third strip of binding. We don't have any kerf strips in there or anything like that to indicate that this top and back may have actually been glued on after the fact, so I think these may have been solid pieces that were sort of hollowed out. We've got a nice rosewood fingerboard with these really cool little rectangular block inlays. We've got a two-piece maple neck with a walnut stringer in the back. It's hard to tell for sure, but I think the body may be maple. It might be some sort of plywood. It's a little on the heavier side for sure. The neck is kind of chunky. It has a little bit of a neck dive to it. So as far as hollow bodies go, there's certainly not a lot of air in this instrument, and the sound does kind of reflect that. One really neat feature here is this bridge cover that is attached by these two thumb screws. You can pop that on or off, and it has a little bit of foam under there. We've got a pretty crude stamped bridge with almost Telecaster style saddles there, where you've just got two adjustment screws for two different saddles over the four strings. So not a lot of intonation there, but on a short scale bass, that's not the end of the world. This bass has two single coil pickups branded with the Kent name on there. You've got individual volume and tone controls for each pickup, some sealed back tuners which we've seen before. The bass features a 0 fret, and I like this little ashtray that they've put in there to protect the body and the finish from some over aggressive truss rod adjustments. And of course, something we've been seeing a lot of, as always, we've got rosewood tug bars, this time one for the thumb or one for the fingers. I personally don't get much use out of these, but they look cool as hell, and it seems to be sort of a lost art these days. There's not a whole lot else to say about it. I really like the form factor of this instrument. I like the look of it. I like the pointier horns, something you don't see often on hollow bodies. But as far as hollow body basses go, it doesn't fully deliver on that sort of open, airy, woody tone that I expect out of a hollow body instrument. And that may be one of its strengths. You can definitely get the vibe of a hollow body instrument, but with a slightly more sturdy tone out of it. So without further ado, let's hear how it sounds.